Okay, so, you know, exploring HBO Max, and I see that the Gallows is on there, and I've heard things, not very good things, but I thought, hey, I'll check it out for myself. Why not? Oh, I know why not. This movie is. Look, for the most part, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, okay, it's your standard found footage film from the 21st century. There's, jump scares every once in a while, camera shake, characters you want to see die, and it's done with, found footage style. It's fine. And then you get to the ending, and there's a twist that makes no sense and makes you go, hey. It just, that's what really, like, it's nothing spectacular before that, but at least, I was just like, this is your standard, typical, found footage film. It was on the way to be, I could say right now, it's better than A Night in the Woods, and those, like, the Slender Man, and maybe even The Slender, but, like, there are better found footage films out there than this. So what's the story? The story is in 1993, teenage boy named Charlie, accidentally dies during a production of a play called The Gallows. He is accidentally hung and he dies. And now 20 years later they are performing the play again. Our lead character here is Reese, and he's playing the same role that Charlie was playing back in 93. And he has a best friend named Ryan, and if you're thinking, douchey best friend, and you got it. And he's our cameraman, so we follow him for like the first 30 minutes of this film as he makes fun of ugly girls and is an asshole to everyone. And I'm reminded of Trevor from Grave Encounters 2. I just gotta die right away. This guy, Ryan, he has a girlfriend named Cassidy, who is a cheerleader and is just about as insufferable as he is. And then you have Pfeiffer, the fourth member of these characters, who is the crush of our main man, Reese. And she's the one who organized this play. So, yes. So, Ryan keeps telling Reese, hey, you shouldn't do this play. He wants to do it because he has a crush on Pfeiffer, which Ryan goes and tells her right away, and Reese has a crush on her. And even Reese's dad is saying, don't do it. But we find out later there's a reason for that. Even though some people might not. I watched some reviews for this, and, like, mostly the Found Flicks Ending Explained, which gave me a lot of information on how this film was originally supposed to go, and I was even looking up some stuff about there's an original cut of this film that's on the Blu-ray, and I don't have the Blu-ray, but I implore you to watch that version. I almost want to buy the Blu-ray just to see that version, and I still might, but, so, in an attempt to make sure the play doesn't go on, Ryan has a smart idea of breaking into the school because one of the doors doesn't lock. So he takes Reese and his girlfriend Cassidy to break into the place. They go in there, they start smashing stuff. Well, they get in there and the lights don't work because horror movie. And they get in there, so they use the light on the cameras, and they have two cameras, so that's kind of cool. You get to see two different point of views. And then they start breaking stuff, smashing items. I'm not sure what Cassidy was smashing, kicking over plants, taking apart the gallows itself, the hang noose and the stairs and stuff. And then they hear a noise, and then they decide that weird things start to happen. So we gotta get out of here to go to leave, and Pfeiffer is there. And she wants to know what's going on, and Reese says, oh, we came here to practice. We thought the door was open, we came here to practice. But then when things started to go down, a freaked out Cassidy just yells out that they were there to break stuff. And Pfeiffer gets all pissed and stuff, and the weird stuff starts to happen, and there's a scene that I don't think is done very well. Like, not a lot is done very well, but it's... So, the whole point is to scare your main characters, right? So there's this scene that's done. So Ryan got pranked by one of the theater nerds, as he calls them. And so he decides to mess with that theater nerd, give him a shirt to cut here, but he cut both parts, so it's also holes in the back, which looks stupid. Like, if you're gonna cut it out so someone's nipples stick out, right, just cut the front. You don't cut both sides, you idiot. And then there's like a teeny tiny shirt. You can wear these. Or he's just gonna find another black shirt and wear that, idiot. But they do the scare. It's not really a scare because he opens the door, the locker door, he breaks it open, opens the locker door, puts the stuff in, and then while he's doing it, he's not paying attention because there's no one else there to go. Which we should have had someone else to, like Cassidy or someone go, the door is opening. But no one else is there to see it. And this other locker door opens. And when he shuts his door, that door shuts. So he can't hear it slam shut either. That's not... Why even do that kind of scene? The only one who's going to see that is us. What's the point of having something on screen? I know some films have that kind of thing where you can see someone standing in the background that, you know, the nose can see. But that's that thing. Doing that doesn't serve anyone except for the person watching the film. Anyway, so they decide they need to get out of there, and one by one they're taken down. Trevor gets hung. Not Trevor. Sorry. Ryan. I'm thinking of Grave Encounters 2. Ryan gets hung. Thank God. And then Cassidy, I think it's backwards, but Cassidy also dies. She gets hung. And it's left to our two other characters, the Crush. So, earlier in the film, we find out that Charlie had a girlfriend that no one knew about. And so, before people start dying, they find this, they hear a noise, and they find an old TV playing VHS footage, without a VHS and a VCR, of course, of a news story on Charlie, and they show the girlfriend, and they show a cast photo. Apparently, Charlie was actually supposed to be the hangman, and he was only playing the character of August because the guy who was supposed to play him was sick, right? So Reese starts freaking out, and he runs to the cast photo, and he realizes his dad was originally supposed to play August in 1993. Dun dun dun. So this guy's out for revenge. So why isn't he going after Reese's father? Even later in the film, Reese is like, it's my fault, it's my fault. No, it's not. You didn't do anything. And, you know, Found Flicks was saying, oh, his dad didn't do anything either. He was sick. He got a cold. What if... But it's never actually, you know, one way or another. What I surmise is that he faked it because he didn't want... Much like Reese, he succumbed to the peer pressure of his friends and decided he didn't want to do the play. And called sick. Because earlier in the film, Reese's father, which is a scene that he neglected to show in his Ending Explained video, by the way, is talking when Trevor shows up at the house. Not Trevor. Sorry, that's the cat's name. He keeps looking at me every time I say it. Ryan. This guy is such an asshole, I just call him by that. Ryan. Ryan shows up at the house, and, you know, and the dad says something to the effect of, you should play football, finish what you started, you shouldn't be doing this stuff, you should be hanging out with your real friends and doing, you know, stuff you're supposed to be doing, trying to get, you know, and that, once the whole thing, when it showed that his dad, you know, bailed out, and then I watched the Found Flicks thing, and he said, oh, his dad had a cold, was guilty of, and I'm like, what if it wasn't as simple as that? Like, this version of the film doesn't delve into that, but like, what if he wasn't actually sick, and he succumbed to the peer pressure of his friends, and decided hanging with his friends and playing football and being cool was, was what he wanted to do, and pretended to be sick. And Charlie knew it, but took the spot anyway, and then died because of it, and this is his revenge. It makes a lot more sense. Going after Reese doesn't make sense, but who knows? Who knows? We're about to get into a lot more of no sense making. So eventually, we get some jump scares where we have, dead Ryan and dead Cassidy, and they also kill the janitor at some point too, and hang nooses, and they run out, and Reese gets to the unlocked door and he's out, but then, oh no, he hears Pfeiffer choking and gagging. So this is what I thought was going to happen. Typical found footage ending. He hears the choking and gagging, runs back to help her, finds her dead, and then he gets hung, suspended above the camera, and filmed. Oh no. Oh no. They decided we gotta be stupid. So instead, he goes in, finds her supposedly choking, and he starts to reenact the scene from the film, which he's horrible at, by the way. Not film, from the play, which he's horrible at, by the way. Climbs the thing and delivers the speech and hangs to death. It is then revealed that Pfeiffer was in on it. And there's someone clapping in the audience, and it's the woman, Charlie's girlfriend, and she's in on it with Pfeiffer because Pfeiffer is Charlie's daughter, it turns out. Yeah, I know, right? Even the dog doesn't like this twist. It turns out that the girlfriend was pregnant. And Pfeiffer is the child born from that. So they were in on it with the ghost of Charlie for some reason. Getting revenge on someone who didn't need to get revenge on because it wasn't Reese's fault. And so, hold on, we're not done yet. So, during this whole ending thing, they called the police. Like, the fire alarm went off. Police, were coming. And so, the police invade Pfeiffer's home where they find the woman, the girlfriend and Pfeiffer, and they start asking about Charlie, and you shouldn't say that name, and then Charlie shows up and kills them, and that's the end of the film. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's an interesting twist, but this film takes place 20 years after the events of the play where Charlie died, which means that Pfeiffer would be at least 19 years old. And it would be easy if they just explained, like Found Flicks said, like she's new here or she got held back, but no. It's all played as if they knew each other for a while, and and obviously, Reese has lived there his entire life because his dad was in the play. Which, again, why didn't they go after him? It just doesn't make any sense. But the original cut does make a little more sense. There's less theatrics, less jump scares with music, from what I hear. The ending doesn't have Pfeiffer as the daughter, but instead she's just someone who's obsessed with the legend, I guess. And the girlfriend is a part of it, maybe? Or maybe she wasn't a part of it. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think the girlfriend's in the original cut. I have to watch the original cut to know that. But I can't imagine it's much better than this. But I think it would be better. Apparently things were filmed. Apparently they refilmed a lot of the stuff, including the fact that the actress who played Cassidy was a different actress and maybe a different name, because Cassidy Gifford, the daughter of Kathy Lee and Frank Gifford, played the character here. So maybe she's a different name, or maybe they just found someone named Cassidy and said, hey, that works. But I don't know. This movie is terrible, and they made a sequel. But I'm not gonna fry this in hell. There's one, I don't want to grab one of my mom's frying pans from upstairs. But two, I don't think it deserves to fry in hell. I think it is right in the middle at a 5. I forgot what I call that, but it's right in the middle at a 5. I don't think it's the worst thing ever made. Like I said, maybe the original version is better. Who knows? Maybe I'll get the Blu-ray and watch that version, and I'll do a review on that. But yeah, just I don't know. Glad I was able to watch on HBO Max for free. I mean, my folks paid for the HBO Max, but for me it was free. So yeah, well, I don't know, but so what are your thoughts on the Gallows? Comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.